Hello and welcome to another video regarding the MiSTer FPGA project. In this video, I'd like to make it sort of a buying guide thing because a lot of people, or at least I feel, I mean, this is a question I had when I was starting to to look into the MiSTer system. I didn't know what to buy. I didn't know what parts I needed. I didn't know what to put together, how to make it work, and do it. And it seems very complicated, I think. And I think this is something that other people struggle with. So I want to explain to you what you need to buy to get a Mister set up and play it and have fun. This is not going to be all comprehensive. There's no um, let me just put it out as a disclaimer. Um, this is not the end all and be all of it. As far as I'm just going to give some experiences that I've had with it, show you how to build it as far as like what you need to buy to get it to work, and um, my sort of recommendations, okay? And these are just personal recommendations based on what I've done and what works for me. May not work for you. If it doesn't work for you, you can't come and sue me. That's the disclaimer part. This is just free advice, so it's, take it for what it's worth and what you paid for it, which is, nothing. So, but hopefully it's going to be good and helpful for you, and that's my hope. Really, is that it's helpful for you, and it helps you make a decision one way or the other. And I hope that your decision is good. Like that you get enjoyment, and um, that the decision goes the way that you want and works out for you. That's basically what I'm going to tell you about that. And hey, if you don't mind, now is probably a good time to like and subscribe if that's your thing. If you don't want to, fine. No worries on me. I'm just trying to help. All right, so to get a Mister, you absolutely need the DE10 Nano Development and Education Board. That's the only way that you can do it because it's based all around this board. The whole entire project is based around this board. Um, I should mention that there's another board that may be used in a future type Mister thing, but that I have no idea when that's going to be or if that is ever going to be. So I'm not going to tell you to hold off on getting one of these. If you want to get one and you're interested right now, I say go ahead and get one. Just with the caveat of knowing that there may be a slightly better system coming out. There may be. That's just a maybe. There's no guarantees. It's a possibility that something might come out in the next year or two, um, that may be a little bit better and run things a little bit better, in particular the Nintendo 64, maybe the Saturn, and the PlayStation cores. It may there may be a core developed for it that'll work with Mortal Kombat and Narc. That's one thing that the unfortunately the existing Mister system can't do. Um, it's not going to be a huge improvement. So, it may not be worth buying after you buy this system. So, if you really, really, really want to get into that theoretical, maybe potential system, you can wait. You don't have to, but that's up to you. I can't make that decision for you. It's what you're willing to go for. I would kind of recommend getting this one because this is here and now, and it exists today. You can try it out. Heck, if a new system comes out, maybe then you can recoup some of your costs and sell your old Mister and get the new one. If the new one ever even comes out, it's still just a hypothetical thing, right? And that I think is a DE25 board. It's not that I think the board just came out, but there's no system for it or anything. There's no Mister plans for it yet, or there's no Mister project for it, I should say. There may be plans, but they haven't been publicly disclosed, so we don't know. So yes, this video is going to be me talking a lot, but that's what YouTube is, right? Anyway, so the DE10 Nano is what you need now. Don't run out and buy one right now. I'm going to show you options of where you can get it, and one of these has, I think, I believe it's included. There are some other couple things where there's kits included and stuff. But if you're going to buy it a la carte and you want to buy the DE10 Nano, You can buy it directly from Terasic, and it shows you here the price is $225 or academic $190. I don't know what you need to supply them with to prove that you're buying it for academic purposes to get the discount. Um, there's instructions there that they'll give you. Most people probably won't be able to do that anyway, um, unless you do actually have a class where you have to get this, but then you already have this, so it doesn't matter, right? um, but anyway, it's $225 US right now. As of the time of this recording, I'll put this on there that is for December 2025, okay? So $225. When I bought mine, I think it was 2019, 2020, something like that, and it was like $180 or something. It's gone up quite a bit. Um, inflation and other things. I think a lot of demand for this one from the Mister project has, it's increased the cost. Supply and demand. That's just the economy. That's the way it works. So unfortunately, it is a bit more now. There are other avenues to get an equivalent board for cheaper if you're patient and are quick, I guess, on the you know ready to jump for when they come available. Right now, I don't think they're available at the moment, but I will go over those in a bit. Okay, so this is the DE10 Nano board. You absolutely need this or some equivalent to run the project. This is the thing that does the magic. It's this. I think this is the Cyclone chip. I think that is the FPGA unit itself. But it runs more. I think it's got. Well, let's see. This is an ARM processor, right? Okay, so that part's not the FPGA, and I think the FPGA is built into it or something. Anyway, I'm not the technical expert for describing what the board does. But it runs the Linux core on the ARM side, or Linux distribution, I guess you call it, on the ARM side to operate the thing and then install the cores, activate the cores and turn the cores off and stuff. And there's all this fun stuff. Anyway, so I'm not gonna explain how to build the system physically and switch the dip switches and connect things with the screws. Actually, if I did that, I'd probably get like a nice camera and assemble it from scratch and show you how it is, or maybe not assemble it from scratch, but unassemble my existing one and then reassemble it and show you how to assemble it if you want that. I may do that if there's interest in it. But the big question and what I'm trying to answer here is, what do you got to get to if you want to play games, right? And that was my confusion. I just bought the bare minimum stuff. So I'm going to show you the bare minimum stuff on that in order to get a Mister running. And then I'll show you what I am working with today, what I have today in my Mister system, and tell you the advantages of everything and just go through that. So yeah, maybe I'm not really making this about me. The reason why I'm describing all this is because these are my experiences. This is what I know. I don't know stuff that I didn't do. Okay. So I'm going to do stuff that I did do and tell you about my experiences and what to get. And that's the important part about the buying is you get the system together, you can play games, right? So what do you need to play the games? What do you need to do X, Y, or Z? Extra things. There are things I didn't buy that I don't have that I can tell you about, but I can't tell you, how they work because I don't have them. But the main stuff to get most of the systems working, and certainly everything that I'll show you in any of these setup videos that I've been doing in the playlist and all that. I will show you all those. I have stuff that does them. I'm not going to show you stuff that I don't have. I can't do that for systems, but you can play pretty much any system based on what I'm telling you. Any of the systems that I show you how to do. If there's an additional part or additional system, I will detail that in the video where I'm talking about. I'll do that to detail that in a video where, like, oh, to do this you need this other special part that, whatever. I think that makes sense. Anyway, so I'm gonna be semi-rambling, I think, on this video, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, so you need this, okay? which it's 225. I should drop a thing that shows it. So I'll cut to that, and I'll have a thing. I'll edit it in post, right? Professional YouTuber here. Ha. Well, not really, but hopefully decent enough to get the uh whatever the content that you need. The instructions out. So you can buy this. It's not horrible at this price. I mean, yeah, it's more expensive, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It just depends on your budget. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. I'm sorry about that. I wish you could then get one and enjoy it. But you can get there are some cheaper options, some more expensive options, some options that are more inclusive. It depends what you're trying to do. That when I say inclusive, I mean that includes more things in it with that it's not just the main, just not just the spare board. Anyway, this comes with the power supply, and it comes with this little acrylic sort of case piece and some instructions. I think there's a CD or something, or maybe you order the CD separate. I can't remember. I've never used it. This is a great little thing, but you cannot do MiSTer with it alone. You need this. You need the power supply, but you need at least two other things. And the other thing that you need is some SD RAM. Oh, that one's sold out. That's interesting. Well, maybe I need to redo this. It wasn't sold out before, I thought, when I was looking. Well, why is it 15 bucks anyway? Yeah. You need the 128 megabyte RAM because that's what they come as now. And it looks like this, and it has two RAMmy things, two little chips on it. And it says back in soon. So maybe come back and visit this soon. I will put links in the description. I'll put explanations. Check the description. I'll put links and explanations to which is which and what is what. MisterAddons.com. I should say that. I should have prefaced that earlier, but MisterAddons.com is like the place to get stuff for your Mister. It's called Mister Addons, but you can get almost, you can't get the, I don't think the DE10 Nano is there. It's usually sold out or whatever, but you can buy that direct from Terasic. So if you're assembling it yourself, this is what I did the first time. I went to Terasic. I bought this thing from them. I went to Mister Addons. I bought this RAM. It's like 50 bucks USD. Do your own calculations. If you have other currency, you've got credit cards or whatever sort of system that you have to do the exchange rate. Um, do the math. That's economy stuff. I think everyone hopefully knows how to do that. Or you wouldn't be here. So that's beyond the scope. I'm not going to do translating into multiple currencies. But anyway, they should have these back in soon. Otherwise, there's some other sites you can get stuff on, and I will try to show this. You can possibly get these from Amazon. I'm not sure. Where's the, yeah. So there's the bat, and this is important. You got to face it the right way when you assemble it. Thanks to Sorge and all of the talented Mister FPGA. That's nice. Yeah. Designed in Idaho. Okay, cool. This side faces outward. That's what it looks like. You need the RAMs. I think there were some other RAMs. Okay, so 32 megabyte is sufficient for all cores except some Neo Geo and GBA games. I mean, I just go for the 228 RAM. You need that. It's good. Oh yeah, see also on Amazon. All right. So what else do you need to get this? All right. The only other thing is a USB, right? You need a USB hub so that you can connect up your USB controllers to it. So let me show that in just a moment. I'm going to pause for us just a little bit here. All right. So this is what you need to get. You need this USB OTG hub, and like so. And this is what it was. You don't need this one per se, but the reason I'm recommending this is because it's $8 on Amazon. So I'll give you the link to this. Again, no commissions do I get from any of this stuff. It's just going to be a blank link, no linking, no tracking information, just a plain thing here. And yeah, so I'll let you. I'll give you the links and the descriptions and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't get any commissions off of this. Just $8. So this is the El Cheapo, as they say, thing. You get one of these for like $50. You get one of these. This isn't necessarily the cheapest. I'll show you in a little bit. So another version you can get, but this is um this. So it's $225 plus $50 plus $8. Okay. If you got Prime, no, it's free shipping. I forget if there's shipping if you don't have Prime, whatever. But there you go. Free shipping with Amazon Prime. I don't know what to look up anyway, but there you go. That's what that is. So $8, 225, 50. So it's close to $300, right? To get that whole deal for you. And that is the ultimate minimum that you need. You get those three things, you can play any of the games and have fun, and it's great, and it will be fine. It may be a little quote unquote ghetto, as they say, but it'll work. It's what I did. It's actually what I had. My original system was that, and I played everything, and it worked. It was great. Um, Maybe a little iffy because there's no fan included with it. So cooling, your results may vary, depends on your situation. If it's in a hotter environment or something like that, it can stutter out. I did have some issues with it initially. It may have been a little bit. Um, there may have been some cores that weren't the greatest, or sometimes I have had cores lock up and stuff. Even still now, sometimes they get a little iffy. I don't know that it was necessarily heat, but that'll get you games. You can play games with that system. It'll be nice. It'll work. It'll work fine. It'll be a little bit maybe not pretty, and maybe a little bit clunky because you got this USB hub thingy that's dangling off, but it will work, and you can play the games. You know. Now I'm going to show you some more stuff that is good. Let's see, what did I got over here? All right, this is the Mister Multisystem, the Mister Multisystem 2 FPGA, which I believe comes with the the E10 Nano or some sort of equivalent in built in, right? So it has that stuff there. So you don't have to buy a separate one. So it comes with, but it's a lot more expensive. But it comes with everything. It's 258 British pounds. Again, do the math, or have your, you know, credit card company do the math or whatever sort of payment method you use. I'll tell you to do that on your thing with your systems. But that's a lot more than $200. It's like 1.5. So if you want to just compare it to the buck stuff, but it comes with that. So it's not, if it comes with this embedded in it, that's not too bad. Because we're going around almost $300. So it's very similar. But I don't know if you need a separate power supply from it. I can't remember. I did not buy one of these myself, so I can't vouch for exactly what you need. But I've heard good things about this. I've read reviews, I've watched stuff on it. Um, it comes from a reputable uh, manufacturer and provider of it. So, and this is just the base system. Analog enclosure, black enclosure, digital. So there's an analog version, there's a digital version. That's if you want analog out versus digital out. If you want analog out, that's sort of if you have a CRT. If you don't have a CRT, just get the digital. Don't worry about it. If you have a CRT, and you really want to, and you're a real purist or something like that, definitely go for the analog one. It's not necessarily required, although I don't know for sure on this one. I'll show you more when we get to the add-on I/O boards. Um, it may only be, you can do compares to see what they have, but it may only be um, may only have analog out on it. I don't know. I know one thing you can do with it with this, you can it has a digital out, right? But you can get an adapter that converts your um no, HDMI to VGA, right? And that's analog, and then you VGA to your monitor, or if it's not, you can have another adapter on that that does it to like component or something like that. But um, you research those components on your own, okay, for what you want. That's one way if you got it on the thing. The main advantage of the analog with the I/O board, I don't know with these, but with the I/O board, that's a separate board, which I will show you. With those, it it has an analog port on it, right? And then you still have the HDMI out, so you can do like dual, right? And that's what that's the advantage of that is it has the HDMI out. You can watch that, or what you do is usually you have that for capture card, and then you do the uh, component out or whatever it has on the analog out, and you can connect that to. Now I think it's direct component if I remember correctly, so that is an advantage versus having to get the adapter for the VGA. So I would try doing that if you really want the, if you have a CRT and you really want that authentic old school experience for that stuff. So let's double check and look at these and see if I'm correct. I know that's the case for the add-on boards, but this one's all built in, so I don't know. Yeah, you can see, let's see, this is analog, and you can look at the ports right here, and we have, that's a VGA port, and that's looks like HDMI, so it has both, right? So this is your analog, and this is your HDMI. I'm not sure what that is. Zoom in a little bit, but that is VGA from what I can tell, or should be. Um, yeah, and that's some sort of weird DIN thing, and that's HDMI. So that's that. This is a pre-order listing, so I don't know what the availability is. There's a priority sequence, 1 unit that you can get, and you can order it, and they put you in a queue or whatever, and you get it, and that sort of stuff. But I've heard this is a very good company. It's decent. You'll get what you want. I don't know on their shipping as to what countries they ship to. That's another thing. I will give you links. I don't know because I'm in the U.S. All right, so and I think these guys do ship to the U.S. I'm not positive. Um, that's going to be more depending on where you are in the world and that sort of thing with your shipping. That you'll have to calculate on your own because obviously I'm not going to calculate shipping to every single country in the world. You have to do your own thing on that, but I'll tell you, manual and operation. Here's the guide. You can download it. I just want to see analog constants tune up black closure. Includes all available AO and expansion, both HDMI and various analog video outputs. So there you go. Fully assembled. 3D printed closure, SD card. All you need is SD card and power supply, and then you download it. You do that like I show you. I'll link it in the video below, or in the not in the description. I'll link it at the end of the video, in the cards at the end where it shows you. But you do the update all, and you put the SD card and do your setup. You have to do that probably. So it doesn't come with anything fancy here. All you need is SD card and a power supply. So they have one that they recommend. So you get that power supply with it. So it costs you a little bit more because you got to get that. You got to add that in on an SD card if you have one already, or if you want to get one new for it. The digital console is available because it's a little bit lower price and it has only HDMI and has so the advantage for the audio, the analog is that it outputs both, and it's great for like streamers because then you can do a capture card and watch it on your nice, beautiful CRT, and enjoy that in the classic fashion for the especially for the retro stuff if you want to be really authentic, and then you can still capture it on your capture card and stream it and record it and upload it and all that fun stuff. That's what you can do. But you can still do the analog, whatever, with an adapter on the other thing. So, you can maybe save a little bit. I don't know how much it would be, because you still need an adapter to VGA and all that stuff. So you have to do the math on that. But I believe it does come with everything. Yes, see, comes with your RAM, it comes with your FPGA. So it's really a very comparable price, to assembling a very basic one to yourself. Um, I would, recommend this as an option, okay? You make your decision as to what you want and what you're going to get. You're going to have to wait for this because they will assemble it in, I don't know if they do it in small batches every so often or how they do it. Um, but I've heard good things. I've heard these work great. I would get one if I needed one. It's not bad at all. Cables are not included, so you got to get your own cables. Uh, Kettle lead main cells required for your country, which is not included. Non-UK customers may be subject to local import taxes. Yeah, see, so you're gonna need an adapter because if you get that power supply, it may not be compatible for your country. So you got to think about that too. Um, so maybe you get your own separate one. But these guys are good from what I know. I've heard good things about them. I have not purchased myself, so I can't say yes, I have got this and it was good and I was fine with it. But all the reports I've read is good. Would I buy one from here? Yes, myself, I would. Um, I would. Yeah, I haven't, but I would. If I had the money and wanted to buy another one, I may do that at some point, but not right now. So that's an option. You get everything, but you got to wait for it. Uh, that's an option. You get all you need. You can get the snack adapters and all the other stuff if you want with it, in addition. Let's see, let's go back. Yeah, but that's what you get. And then they have snack adapters. This is if you want to actually, um, so it goes USB port, and then you can plug in like an actual SNES controller, etc., depending on which ones you have with it. Or, I just use the USB controller because it's easier, but not necessarily for everyone. Some, if you have one, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit less latency, that sort of thing. So it can make a difference. And there's a bunch of other extra stuff. I'm not sure, but if you just get this base one with the power supply, SD card, and then get your own controller, I think that's all you need. So that's another option. I'll link it in the thing. Maybe I'll put some prices as of the time of this recording just to say, for comparison systems, so you can model it up. Maybe I'll make up a little card for the end of the video. I'm not sure. Okay, next option. We got it's a retro remake.co. This is the guy that makes Mr. Pie. This is Taki Udon's site, and you can get this stuff. In fact, you can get this 128 megabyte SD RAM. It's only $20. So I might recommend this one over the other one as far as price wise goes. As far as I know, this is a reputable vendor. I have seen videos of people that have, ordered this. They've got their product and it worked fine. You know, it's just same as the other stuff. Um, and there's a few other things. The disadvantage right now is this is not available. You can get this is just the board, right? This is basically a replacement, a drop-in replacement for this. So instead of $225, you're going to only pay $125. That's a big savings. That's a significant, significant savings. And I would recommend you do that if you can. The problem is sold out. When is he going to make more? I don't know. You just have to pay attention, or I don't know if you can contact them and ask them, when the next batch, when he's going to do it, that sort of thing. But if you can get it, and they sell out very quick because that price versus 225 versus 125. So you'd have to wait and be really quick and get it before it sells out, and then you have to wait for it to be made and shipped to you and all that sort of stuff. But it could be worth it to save $100. I'm told that these boards are 100% compatible with it. They're not identical because there's slightly different configuration, but all the ports and stuff on them is the same, so you can use the same cases and power supplies and things like that with them, and adapter devices. So you get that, you get your RAM, your setup, or you get your, you get your Terasic thing that you need. So you always need that. If you can't get it there, and then you get RAM here, and then you get that USB hub thing, right? That's another price. So this is even less if you get this here, especially if you get this one, and then so that's like the, the limited um version. But it, as far as niceties, it does everything. It will still play all the games. All right. So all you need is the main board. This is showing it with a case that's assembled, but it's really just this. Let me see if he has. Yeah, that shows with the case. It's really just this. Okay, so it looks slightly different than the other one, but it's this. Is what, and I think this is the back side of it, so you can see what that looks like. This is the replacement for the. You can see it's got the Cyclone and everything. It's the replacement for the the Terasic DE10 Nano because it's expensive. So you get that, you get this, and then you get this, and you're set up. Boom, boom, boom. Those are the only three things you need. I think this does not come with a power supply, so you will have to buy a power supply separate on this one. So it's a little bit more. So you will need that. All right. So I'm gonna draw a chart at the end of this, so it'll be a little bit more explanatory. So it's a little more simple, right? So you don't like go, whoa, he's talking about this and that and this and that. But basically, remember, you need three things. You need the main board, which is the E10 Nano or equivalent. You need a RAM, right? RAM thing, whichever one you get, and you need some sort of USB hub, right? That's all included in this one, and then you'll need power supply, which is may or may not be separate. And well, you need a controller, okay? I'm assuming that you already have a controller, but if you want to get a new controller, I'll show you that too, I guess. So yeah, this is we're gonna be a long rambling video, but it is what it is. All right, now so you get that. You don't need this, but we'll talk about that later. And that, what other options are there? I think I went for this one. No, I don't need to talk about that. I don't need to talk about this site yet. I'll just load it up there. That's a site. Yeah, so those are basically the three different ways. There are a few others. There's I think there's QM Tech. That one is maybe not really compatible with everything as far as the boards and stuff, so that's less recommended. I think you can get that on like Alibaba or something like that website. Just letting you know that it's out there, but that one's kind of less recommended. I won't put a link to that one. Well, I'll put a mention of it in the description, but I won't put a link. I'll just say that QM Tech also has something, but people less recommend it. I don't know if there's any others. That's all I know of systems that do it. But that one's, again, that's not going to be compatible with a lot of the peripherals and things. So that's kind of why I recommend against it. The main things I would say, this one or the Mister Multi-System, or just go for the Terasic, the E10 Nano itself. That's your main focus. Okay. If you just want to get up and running, that's all you do. You go for this system, make sure you get the power supplies and things you need. And then, or you go for just this with the RAM and the power and this USB thing, or you go for some sort of combination where you get this RAM that's only 120, or that's only $220, and you get this when and if it's available, $125. As of the time of this thing, it may be more, maybe less. Who knows? At some other point. And then you still get the USB thing. You need an SD card. The DE10 Nano actually comes with an SD card, but I think it's 32 gig. It does come with one if I remember correctly. It doesn't say here. I think it did come with one. Anyway, I think you can get it here directly from their site. If not, maybe Amazon. I will double check that and put it in the description. I will put this link here. I think you can get it here. I think I got it directly from Terasic when I bought mine. Maybe not though. Maybe they linked me to like, one of the other sites. Let me see. It's loaded up, right? Well prepared. Why is it taking so long? There you go. Oh yeah, see there's your details. Yeah, you can just order it right here. 1,000 grams. That's 1 kilogram. You can get some or little add-ons if you want. Not really. Yeah, made in Taiwan. Cool. Yeah. Don't get the light. Just get this. So you can order it directly from them. I'm pretty sure I got it directly from them. Can't remember. Doesn't really matter where I got it from. I think Amazon's another option. Sometimes they do have them. Like I said, this site doesn't usually have them. I've checked, and usually it says sold out. But yeah, and see, then they have it for 235 because they got to get it from Terasic. And it costs them a little bit. They probably get a discount, because they're like a reseller, so maybe they get a little discount or something like that, and they charge you a little bit more. But whatever. Maybe they can't. Maybe it's sold out because that was what they were charging for it when it was only 190 or something like that. And that was their cost. Their add-on cost, and you can get it. And then maybe they don't have them anymore. I don't know. I don't think they had them when I got it in 2019 or whatever. So probably not here, but uh you get direct from here, maybe Amazon, maybe some of these other places. This one will have a whole built-in system for you. This one, maybe when they come available, get one, but you got to look it up. I'm not going to be watching that and posting a video saying, "Oh, they're available now." That's up to you to look at to see if you want it. He does have another system. Let's see if he's got it here. The Superstation, which is supposed to look like a PlayStation or something like that. And I think you can connect SNES controllers to it. So that's kind of neat. I don't know so much on how this one works as to whether or not it's a good equivalent of it. There's another potential option, but I can't. It's not that I don't recommend it. I just can't say for sure. I think it does do all the other systems. You can plug stuff into it, but as far as how to do that and configure it, I don't know because I don't have one. I think they're not. I think the orders have been taken, but I don't think they've been. I don't think they've been fulfilled yet. So I think people are still waiting to get them. Maybe look for another video if you're curious about that. Not one of mine, but somebody else's video because I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna get one of those myself because I got already a Mister. But it exists. There, in theory, that's another potential option, but I don't know. So that's that. All right. So done with basic system. Right. Now we're gonna move on to if you want to get a full system, a more full system. So okay. So you get your DE10 Nano. I'll go back to this so it looks nice. Get your DE10 Nano, and what else would you get? What else would you get next? Well, what I got next was I actually got like a top and bottom plate that just had a fan. It was like 15 bucks. It was nice. And I think I got a splitter cable or something for the power and or no, it was a cable with a power attachment. Yeah, I think it was something like that. With a switch, a cable with a switch on it, so I could just power cycle it, right, instead of physically unplugging it. That's what it was. Because otherwise you got to unplug it because there's no power button on the power supply itself. It's just you plug it in, it's on. So if you want to reboot it, you got to unplug it and plug it back in, right? That's annoying. So you can get a, well, not from here. Where is it? This one. I don't know if they have it. Hopefully they have it. I can show you. Yes, you get this power splitter. It has a switch in it, built in it, and then it has a power splitter. You don't have to use both of them. It's 750. You get that, and you can power cycle it. It's nice. Um, you get these if you want. Sometimes the having the dual power is nice for when you get some of the add-ons. They have a separate power thingy, right? So that was kind of the next step I did. I got a little bit. I got this. They had like a plate thing. Yeah, fan plate. It says sold out, but this is what I got next. I got this fan plate and heat sink deal, right? Which is nice. So I had a fan plate, and then I got that. I got that, and then I got the. Don't know, when or if they'll have these, but that's nice. So then you get your fan, you get your power supply, you got your on-off switch. That's, it's a step up from the most basic thing, and it's a little bit better. And I was worried about it, so I was like, let me get this fan. This will be nice and what have you. And I put it together, and it's fine. If it's in stock, you can get it. They may, if I don't know if there's an option where you can like put in for like back order for when it's in stock. I don't know. Need to check. And that was the next thing I got just to get a little bit better uh experience because I was power cycling it a lot and stuff like that. I don't do it so much now um because of what I've got working, and I wasn't having issues with it. But it was nice to have that so I could turn it off. I didn't have to unplug it. I can just flick the switch and it's off. And I don't have to keep unplugging it, plugging it in, that sort of stuff. So that's an option. You can get that. I do have that. I don't really use it anymore because of other things. What other options are here? Well, you can go and get the where is it here? The USB hub. I'll just go to here. You can get this USB hub. Now it's $20 from Retro Remake from Taki Udon. There you can also get it from Mister Addons. I like Mister Addons a lot. I do recommend them. The Taki Udon is also said to be good, so it's I don't if you prefer that, if you're on a little bit of a budget, get that. See, it's based on the thing with a soldered header for Mr. Pi. So this one I think is designed. It does say it's compatible with other Mister FPGA development boards, so it might be fine. I don't know if you have to do anything to change it to make it adapt to their boards. I don't know. See, I don't see the reverse thing. All right. 7 data ports and 2 power ports. But basically, you get that. I think the one I ended up getting, I tried getting one from another site that wasn't compatible. So you do have to be careful with that. I got mine from Mister Addons. Now I don't see it. Oh, there's another page. Um, it was, yeah, here it is. USB hub and bracket. This looks a little different than the one I got, I think. I don't know. Thought mine had a green thing. And then this comes with the little connector, which you plug in. I forget one of these and it plugs in there, whatever. Oh, 25, that's not bad. Ready to ship. Okay, because initially they didn't have them, and then I ordered one later. That's why I tried a different site. It wasn't compatible with my stuff, so I have it somewhere. Yeah, and that's that. This is nice. Now the thing I was hoping that it would do, the problem I was having with it when I had the OTG hub, although this is just an OTG hub, but it's different somehow. The problem that I was having with it was I have a wireless one with a a USB dongle type thing, and it's the one I'm using is a, 8-bit um heck, I'm having a brain fart. It's a Pro 2. That's what it is. Pro 2. 8-bit Pro 2. I love it. It's great. But the problem I was having was like the USB hub would like reset and I'd have to unplug the dongle and plug it back in every time I power cycled the Mister. Whereas the setup I have now, it works just fine out of the box. Boom. I don't have to power cycle it. I just connect up my wireless controller and boom, right, and get on it. So that's probably going to be your experience if you get the other hub. It's fine, but it's a little bit of a pain. So you get this, and that eliminates that teeny little issue, and it looks good. The only problem is this, and this is it. Oh yeah, and this the other thing is so that adds a layer in, and I think that's fine. And I had the case, um, and I have the plate, right? So I had the plate, so I could put the plate on the bottom of it if I wanted. I don't remember if I got everything else at once or multiple things. I can't remember. But you can put the plate on the bottom of it, so you don't have to worry if you get this and you get that. And it's fine, but it's a little bit bare and exposed, so watch out for dust, I guess, that sort of thing, as you build it. But you can get one of these. Um, Next, then so you can get that. You don't need it if you get that thing. You can get one here. Yeah, that's the other option. And and set them up. Yeah, these guys have them too. This is Mister FPGA.co.uk. I have ordered from here. I actually got a case, I think, from here. I don't think I got any of these parts, but here's your board. Um, yeah, this is the one. This one comes with a splitter because of USB, so you can have USB powered because it needs that. And then there's a bunch of other boards. So this is another option. I will link there. I got this case from them. Although I think no, that's just maybe it's the angle light. I got this case. Yeah, they have a fan and plate and heatsink version here, and this is what it looks like. This is a clear one, but it just looks like that. You don't put anything on it, but you can get this is nice. You can get these plates. That way, like if you get the thing, you can have plate. You don't have to have that case that's perfectly set for everything. You just get these things. So there's lots of other options. I know it's getting confusing because I'm talking about different options, different things. I will have a little chart summary at the end. I'll go over it and show you what you can do. Obviously, everything's you can get mix and match. A lot of the stuff is pretty compatible. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes you can get burned and stuff like that, and that's difficult, but it happens. This is the blister hub. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the blister stuff. It's a little bit different, and I think that was where I got in trouble with that. Um, this is the bracket hub thingy for the USB. Be nice to show you how it all looks. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. We'll see. This is the case I got that I ended up getting after, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself because I got another part. I think I got that from Mister Addons. I ended up getting the digital I/O board. I thought I needed it for something, but I didn't actually. But it's kind of nice, and I got it. It's not required, but what's the benefit? What do you get from the digital boards and the analog? You get this, okay, right here. You get an on-off switch. You wouldn't need the adapter then, with the on-off switch, and I don't use that anymore. I got the splitter with the on-off switch. You don't need that if you have this on-off switch. And then it comes with this adapter thingy, so you can like power it. So what you would do is you would plug the power into the DE10 Nano or equivalent, and then use that connector to connect it up to the other thing. Usually, it kind of depends on your setup. But that's what I got. It has that switch. It's nice. Um, yeah. I forget if I mentioned, but when I got the USB hub that comes with it, um, I didn't have that problem with the thing resetting, and having to unplug the dongle again. And that's that. Now the nice thing about that is once you get those three items, we have what's called the triple stack. So you have the USB hub thing, which is a little bit more expensive, but not necessarily. And I think they were like $60 at the time. They were a lot more. So they've come down in price because they've been able to, I don't know, quantities or whatever, more efficiently produce them. So it was $60. So I was really, do I really need it? So you get those. The nice thing is you get the USB hub board. You have the uh, DE10 Nano board, and then you have the I/O board. That's what's known as the triple stack. They call it the triple stack because the three boards. Oh yeah, obviously you got the RAM that you stick in there, but that's already in there. We talked about that earlier. But those, and that's a side board. It doesn't go in it's not one of the main boards. So you got those three boards. That's your triple stack. That's your nice thing. And then you can get a case because the cases are all designed around the triple stack system. And I got the case here. And they have lovely different colors. Well, they got blue and green, which I think are lovely. This is the one I got though, like the smoke gray. Actually, this says blister. Mister Pie. So these are slightly different. Oh, yes. I probably got this one actually, and then I think you can change the color. So I'll show you the colors. Oh, that's blue. It was what we already had. Oh, choose an option. Oh yeah, and you can choose it based on your I/O board, if you have the analog or the digital, or the AV Pro, which is a different one, which is also I think analog, but it's a different one that allows. I think you can put use the second slot for another memory or something like that. So I got Looking Glass. I think it's clear. Can be back or digital I/O. All right. So pick whichever board you've got. Now, the digital one, as I said, digital board just has digital. It has like a toss link and all. You can see the toss link right here. So it's nice if you want digital audio out, that sort of thing. Um, it's cool. You get these extra buttons. There's like a reset button and a couple things there. It's nice to have. Um, and it has the on-off switch. So it's a nice little improvement. It doesn't add any. There's no other like actual video out from this. It's You just use the existing HDMI port on the D10 Nano. This is green. I guess Looking Glass is green. Oh, there we go. Clearest to clear. Yeah, so I just want to show you the colors. Neptune blue, crystal clear, Looking Glass, which is like green. Oh, it's like glass. Yeah, like plate glass. That's a little bit greeny. Shadow gray, that's the one I have. I like it. Acid green, really cool, neon-y looking. And Helios yellow. So those are some nice colors. I like this. This fit what I had. It fit perfectly. It was great. It had all the stuff I needed. I got that. It worked great, and very satisfied with it. So I would recommend this. I will definitely put a link to this one in there. It's good. I think they're based in the UK. So, calculate your shipping and price, uh, currency exchanges and stuff on that. I'm not sure. Yeah, see, and it tells you what it's compatible with. So the Mister Pi is not compatible with this case because it's slightly different. So depending on what it is, so this is really nice checkbox because it's hard to get cases that fit exactly, and et cetera, et cetera. So this is, again, I recommend this. Yeah, this is in pounds, so $22.99. So whatever your adjustments are for that. So I got that, and that's the set I have. I have this case. I have the digital board, digital I/O board. I've got the USB thing. I don't remember exactly what version it is. I can look it up. I'll put it in the description. I have to take the thing apart maybe, so I don't know if I want to do that. I'll tell you what color it is. Actually, let me look. I think it is black. Yeah, it is. Cool. All right. Ah, so that's that. This has gone on pretty long, almost an hour now. But I'm pretty much done. So that's what I got. That's the triple stack, and that's whatever. Now there's this other site, ultimatemister.com. I'm not too keen on them. This is where I got one of these. I think I got this one. I don't know if it was exactly this one. I got one of these, and it didn't fit my system because it had a different kind of hookup. It may not be this one, so that's on me. And I wasn't able to return it, so it cost me, and I still have it, and I can't use it. But it was delivered. Everything was fine. Prices were reasonable. What it was getting, it just didn't work for me, and I wasn't able to return it. Um, so buyer beware. I will link this site because it is just another option if you prefer them. They're still in business. This was years ago. It's not like they are crummy and went out of business or anything. It's just I didn't have the best experience personally with it. So, your results may vary, but I will post it because they have stuff. And that's really it. And I hope this rambling discussion, well, monologue, has will be able to help you in some way to get something put together for Mister. I'll put a little chart at the end here, so I'll just leave a space for that, and then I'll have my outro then. So that's that. Okay, so in conclusion, here are some bundle options that I've done. Uh, the cheaper but works option. This is what I started out with. Was the DE10 Nano via Terasic. The Taki Udon Equivalent was not available at the time. It didn't even exist. He hadn't made it yet. He's made a couple batches now, but they're hard to come by. You got to kind of wait and keep your eye on it and pounce. But if you can get it, it's worth a savings. Does not come with a power supply though, if I understand correctly. So, and the DE10 Nano does. So you'd have to get that extra. And then your memory by Taki Udon, Mister Addons, or some other supplier. I'll put several in the links below. You can search your own, whatever you are comfortable with. Go ahead, maybe better for you depending on your locality. And then the USB OTG hub that I showed on Amazon. There's probably some other place you get it too, if you prefer another place. That works. It'll get you through the day. Obviously, you need your own controller. Hook that up. That's your options. If you're a gamer and are interested in this, you probably already have several controllers you could use. Some of the niceness is if you get a snack adapter. I don't even have a snack adapter on here, but if you want to get a snack adapter, you could do that, and you could get you could use the original controllers depending on which adapters you get, whatever. So you got those. Better it'd be like a DE10 Nano, uh, obviously the memory, and then get the Mister FPGA USB hub, either the Taki Udon one, Mister Addons one, or some other supplier, and maybe protective plates and a fan. I think that was the next. Actually, I think I had protective plates and a fan before that, but it's you don't have to do the same order I did. But this is one way you could do it, where you could get stuff and then you could gradually add on. Um, the protective plates and the fan is not absolutely necessary, my understanding, but it does. My experience seems that it does help a little bit, keeps it a little bit cooler and runs a little bit better, and it doesn't kind of freak out as much. That's I've heard some reports. I've heard reports both ways. I've heard reports saying yes, you need it, absolutely. I've heard ones that it's like it's pretty optional. The DE10 Nano doesn't come with one, so you know depends how hard you're pushing it, I guess. But I would still recommend it as it keeps it cooler. It keeps your system it'll work longer because it doesn't get as hot and it won't break down sooner, that sort of thing. So I would recommend it as a good thing. In that vein, you may also want to get an adapter. Like there's a power supply splitter thingy with a power switch, which I should probably link up in case you want that. Although, if you get one of the I/O boards, it has the power switch in it, so you don't need it. But that's an optional thing that you get, at this better level. And then the best level is the DE10 Nano with the memory, USB hub, and an I/O board, either digital or analog. And there's a couple different versions of the analog one now. Is like analog better version, and then a case, a case with it. Make sure you get the case that matches your configuration, because there are a couple different configurations, different I/O boards, that sort of thing. And that starts getting into the weeds and the nitty gritty and the whatevers. And I can't give you every single option because it depends, what you want and what you get. You get the one that matches, right? They usually have, and they'll tell you which one it matches. And if you're unsure, ask the supplier, because they would rather you be happy with what you bought than have to do exchanges and returns and stuff, because that's just messy, right? And it's a pain in the butt all around. So ask, send them an email, that sort of thing. And then sometimes you may need a power supply or not, depending on your system. And the one I've also forgot which is in the best category, is the Mister Multi-System, which basically combines everything, and it's drop-in. It's really simple. If you are at any in any way unsure of like assembling one of these yourself, you don't have to do any soldering or anything like that. You just have to use, like, not even a screwdriver, really. You could just finger tighten it. No, some of them do have screws. You might need a little tiny screwdriver or something to finish putting on the case or something like that. But if you are, you know, just really averse to working with your hands and putting the thing together, and it's really not hard for most people, but it's, everyone's different. So if you do have a problem with that, I would highly recommend getting Mister Multi-System 2, because it's just everything put together already. The only trick there is trying to get a power supply that's compatible, with your electrical system, depending where you are. And it's really about the same price as getting the best stuff and putting it all together, or maybe even the better. It seemed to be a pretty reasonable price, actually, when I looked at it, because you don't have to buy the DE10 Nano, you don't have to buy the memory, you don't have to buy any USB hub. It's all the hardware there is together. The only thing that you would need is if you wanted to go, above and beyond, get snack adapters and things like that. That's sort of extra, but I haven't. None of this is a snack adapter stuff. That's if you're really an enthusiast, you want to get into it, and which is great for people that are and want to do that. It's something that I would enjoy, but it's just a lot of kind of overhead, so to speak. A lot of extra. There's a little bit of extra expense. There's um, extra setup and things like that. And it's a little bit above and beyond what I need to do. But a lot of people do. A lot of people are really into it, and that's cool. I think it's great. It's something that I would enjoy if I had it, probably. But anyway, that's it. That's really the summation. Sorry for not putting the Mister Multi-System 2 here on it, but I'll have links in the description. I'll have this sort of summary up and there. And most importantly, I hope this is beneficial for you. If you find this at all confusing, don't care, or if this scares you off of putting it together or setting it up yourself, I guess I'm sorry in that case. But maybe better that if you find out it's something that you don't want to do, is better than spending money and going, oh, I can't do this, uh, that sort of thing. But hopefully this was helpful for you, and I didn't just make things worse and confuse you. So this is sort of my little guide, and I don't know, maybe I could have done it better, but not to be too self-deprecating. Anyway, I hope this is beneficial for you. So, if you like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Um, I hope this is beneficial for you. I said that how many times now? Uh, Thank you for watching, and maybe we'll see you in another video. Thank you. Bye-bye.